Hello everyone, this is Lee Time from 5 Random Guys. Um, I am doing a little behind the scenes of our next LP. Um, I'm not sure when this is going to be uploaded. I'm pretty sure this is going to be uploaded before the first episode. Gonna try and get it up tonight, but not but I'll see. So this could be before the first episode or maybe afterwards. Anyways, I'm going to show a little bit of editing and everything, show you what I do. I am open for room for improvement and stuff like that, so if you guys have suggestions, you are welcome to give them to me. But yeah, let's get right started. We've already recorded our first recording session, so I'm going to be using that. I will show behind the scenes of our recording sessions and stuff sometime in the future. But anyways, to get started, we're going to do new project. If you can't tell, I use Adobe Premiere Pro. From here, I want to browse a new location. Go to our videos for 5 Random Guys folder, and I'm going to go down to Wind Waker. As you can see, I already have stuff in there. This is for extra stuff as well as thumbnails. And I select that. It's going to be called Wind Waker. Hit OK. And it's going to put everything together. Now, I've already made a couple of custom setups. But pretty much what these do is your pre-setups. What editing mode, the time-based frame rate. Excuse me. Widescreen, flat screen, or standard screen and stuff like that. Your audio and all that. This one I usually by default use 4 video tracks, and 3 stereo tracks. I'll show those off in a minute. But sometimes I use more, sometimes I use less, but that's usually my default. I have one for Pokemon, and I have one for the extra stuff that I'm doing for this series. The extras only has one track each. Alright, now it always asks for the first sequence name, so this one's going to be episode 001. I always name them like that because I don't know. We've gotten close to 100 episodes before. I don't know if we ever will, but just in case, that's always nice. This is also a nice format, instead of just putting 1, because whenever I save files and stuff, it's putting them in order, but nothing comes before something. So if I put episode 1, then later down the road, I start doing episode 10, 11, 12. In my folder, it's gonna show up as episode 1, episode 10, episode 11, 12, and then it will show episode 2. If I put the 2 zeros in front of it, it'll keep it all in order. So I'm going to hit OK on that, and it's going to do the default plate and everything, and it'll open up a extra timeline. Sometimes it does that from other episodes or other editing. I was editing Pokemon last night, so. And then what you do in this area, this is where you have all your imports and everything. So you have your sequence and then nothing else from the start. So I'm gonna import Showface, haha, and it'll open up. The way I open this up, I right click, that's the right button on your mouse, and went to import, it pulled up this window. Now I'm going to search for the folder that I need, which is on my external. 5 Random Guys. I'm going to scroll down to Wind Waker. You see I have some other stuff already sitting here, areas and stuff like that. But what I want is these two folders right here. When editing, or when we are recording, our video recorder or our capture card by default will name it whatever we type in, underscore 00, 01, 02, and all until 99. We've never gotten past that. Usually we do hour-long recordings and stuff, so we end up getting more episodes out of one recording than doing a whole bunch of episode-length recordings. But I'm going to take those two, I'm going to hit open, and they import it. Now, you may think they're ready to go and everything, but if you look down to the bottom right, this is your status bar. They're transporting these files, or this information into the program and everything, and it's going to make some temporary files, which is kind of annoying because it takes up hard drive space. But once it's fully, once this bar is full, then they're ready to go. Usually the audios are a lot faster than the videos and stuff. But yeah, I can actually start editing. I just won't have a lot of sound. Now, before I get into it, I'm also going to make a new bin. And do the same thing, right click, hit new bin, and it opens up a folder. Makes a folder in here. And I'm going to do recording 00. And then I'm going to take these, select them, and I'm going to move them into here. Now within this, I'm going to do episode 001. I'm going to put that in there. Resort them. Now I have two folders. Episode 1 is within recording 00. As well as the sequence is in this folder here. That way I can collapse this whenever I want. If I have special stuff in for this episode, I can put it in that folder and then collapse it whenever I'm done with the episode. Now, before I get any further, I want to import some more stuff. So I'm going to import. I think it's under extras. Nope, it's not under extras. Where did I put it? Got music and stuff. That actually should not be in thumbnails, so let's cut that. Put it back in here. This is actually what I need. For this series, I'm doing something a little bit different. During the episodes, during a cutscene, if you ever see this icon appear on the bottom left of the episode, which you will see me put it in this episode, you can click on that and it'll show you a second video. That's with all those extra stuff. And then I'm going to do import again. Now this time I'm going to go back to the 5 Random Guys folder. Go to logos. Excuse me. And I am going, you see Project Unity's avatar up there. I've done a couple of editing for them. I'm going to take our 90 by 90 logo, as well as these two arrows, and I am going to and I should do, no, not the shiny ding. Which one is it? Oh, it's not in this folder. I guess I have to look for it. But I'm going to do those 3 from this folder and import them. This is pretty much going to be a lot of importing and stuff to get started. Let me go back. Sound effects, that's what I want. This is what I wanted, the wipe sound effect. I use this I'm starting to use this more. This is for quick transactions between two scenes and stuff. It may be a little bit different later on, but right now I'm going to be using the wipe effect. Oops. I didn't mean to make another bin folder. I meant to... Oh, excuse me, I got the... Oh, hiccups. And actually, I need to go back to Wind Waker, and this time I am going into thumbnails. I'm getting the logo for it. I'm going to leave that one in thumbnails because I did use it for the thumbnails and everything, but I'm going to be needing it in this one. Now, I'm going to make another bin. Now I need another bin. I'm going to name that logos. I'm going to select, oops, I'm going to select all of these. So if I click one, scroll up and hold down shift and click the next, click the one at the top, it selects all of those in the middle. Now if I don't want anything, let's say for instance the wipe, I can hold down control and click that. And I really don't need the icon in there, so I'm going to hit control and get rid of that, as well as my actual logo, because I'm going to use that a lot. These three here, I'm going to put in here. I'm not going to need them as often. But what I'm going to do is when I click the bin folder, I'm going to go over here and click New Item and Sequence. Now it'll open up this screen again. I'm going to type in logo or logos for the sequence name and hit OK. It's going to make another sequence, and that will automatically add into the folder since I had the folder selected. Now this is what I'm going to use for to put in the logos and these logos and stuff. This is for the quick click at the beginning and at the end of each episode. Now I'm not going to use this too much for the first episode. I'm going to be doing a custom thing for the first episode, but this is going to be for the later episodes. So let's get this one. I'll put the logo in first. Actually, I need to change the length. So if I select this, I'm going to hit right click on here and go down to speed and duration. This is the duration, how long it's going to last. I'm going to change this to from 5 seconds to from 5 seconds to, will be a good time. We'll do 10. I'm not going to have these up for very long and stuff, so let's put now we can put this in here and it will actually reflect the new length. Now I'm going to do that for each of these, so real quick. Now I got that. I'm going to take each of these. I'm going to add these into the sequence, and logos should actually be outside of the logos folder. That way I can do that, and I can still get to the logo sequence really easily. Now, this is the next part of this. I'm going to actually zoom in on this. I can do this by holding this bar up here, or I can do this bar here. Either one will work, but I usually use this one since it's right there. So now I'm at a better position to edit these. I need to move the previous one over to the left and shrink it down. The next one over to the right, shrink it down. And the logo, I think I'm going to put it in the same spot I've been doing on the top left. I'm going to shrink it down and everything also. So I'm going to click on the previous.ping in the sequence here, and it will open and it'll show these selections in my effect controls. I'm going to go to motions and drop down that, or expand this area. This is my position. Now if I can, this one's going to be my x-axis, so if I move this to the right, it'll move to the right. this to the left, it moves it to the left. And this is for the y-axis. If I move this to the right, it moves up. To the left, it'll move down. Actually, no, I'm sorry. Right is down and left is up. So I'm gonna cancel that because I want it to stay in the relatively same axis as that, or set the same position there. But this one I want to move over to the left. Now it's hard to tell where I'm actually going to put it, so I'm going to actually change the scale. This is the actual size. So let's say 50%. It's still too big. 20%. That looks good. 20% is good. Now I moved it over too far, so come on. Why won't you? There we go. So about 25 is good. Now, since I already know what the scale that I want it for this one, I can do that automatically for next. So I'm going to click that, expand motion, go to scale 20%. Now I'm going to take this and start moving it this way, and that looks about good. Maybe too far. About 695. That looks good. All right. So that's in its position. Now for the logo, I'm going to go do the same thing. I'm going to select logo from the sequence, go to motions. I'm going to scale it down, and I could move it up and down like I did with moving its position. Pretty much what I'm doing is I'm clicking on it and holding down the left click. I'm moving the mouse to the left, and I'm moving it to the right, and that changes the size. So if I go, let's do 30 is right. It looks right. So if I click on this, and it'll bring up an actual type in box, and I can actually type in a size if I know the size. I usually like to keep it in something of a multiple of 5s, so make everything nice and even. So now I have the right size. Now I want to put it roughly about this right there. So let's do 60. I don't think that's too close to the edge. And then I'm going to move this up. That looks good. About 45. That looks good. And there you go. And now those are set up. Now I'm going to go ahead and collapse those spots, so now they're pretty much in the right positions. Next thing I need to do is set them to fade in and fade out. That I use the opacity for. So I'm gonna start off with previous again. I select that and I expand this one, and you see it's at 100%, meaning that you can see it fully. Now I'm going to leave that for the very beginning, and I'm going to do about halfways. So half of 10 is 5. So what I do here, this timer right here tells me where the position of the video is at. So like if I'm here, I'm at 2 seconds and 20 milliseconds, or 20 frames. I go here, 6 seconds, 18 frames. And I can jump back and forth between these, and I'll show those off a little bit later. But if I click on this, I can actually type in the time that I want. So this is hours, minutes, day, or seconds, and frames. So I'm going to do in seconds, go to 5. It's going to take me to 5 seconds into this sequence. Now this is where I'm going to start doing my editing for the fade-ins. So starting with previous, since this is already at full, I'm going to hit this button here. That puts in a key a keyframe, meaning that at this point it knows it's going to change. It's going to change from this keyframe to the next one, which I'll show in a second. So I'm going to do that for each of these. So for next, that's 100, and the logo 100. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to jump to the very end and set that to 0. So if I go from previous, this now if I hit this button here, go to out, this will take me to the very end of the video. Now I have to be careful, because if I can make markers, mark in and mark out, and this will actually take me to the end of that, to the mark out position. So I don't use them too often. Sometimes I do if I really need to look at a certain area, but you won't see me use them too often. For now, this will take me to the very end of the video or sequence that I'm editing. So now that I'm at the end, I go back. I'll go back to previous. Now I'm going to go to here, and I'm going to type in 0. Hit enter. It makes a new key, and you see that it went invisible. I'm going to do that for each of them, and that one went invisible, and now logo is gone. So now if I go back here, we'll jump back to the very beginning, go to N. This usually will take me to the beginning of my mark in, but since I'm not using it, it'll take me to the very beginning of the video. Now if I hit the spacebar, it will actually play the sequence. Now if you watch the preview here, and now it starts to fade out. And it will automatically stop when it gets to the end of the video. If I hit space again, it will reset. If I hit space while it's playing, it will pause it. So space again, start playing again. And anytime I ever tell it to jump to the beginning or jump to the end, it will automatically stop the video and we'll jump to the beginning and end. And I often switch between windows and stuff, and if ever you leave this program, if it's playing, it'll stop playing. So you don't lose your position and anything. So that's pretty nice. But yeah, that's how I do the fade in and fade out. The fade out for that. And I'll show you how to do the fade ins later. So now that is set up. I'm gonna hit this X here. It's just gonna close the sequence on my on this bar here. I'm gonna go up to File and Save. Save often, because I've had times where I would do a really complicated sequence and I get to close to the very end and the program freezes, and then I have to redo everything. Now we're gonna get started with the actual episode. I did all that, and I'm not even gonna use that logo until the logo sequence until the next episode. So starting with this one, I'm gonna take this the video here. Drag that down, and that's going to be in my video 1, audio 1 position. Now as you can see, it's going to, as you can see, well, you probably can't tell right now, it doesn't fully, oh yeah it does, my autosave there. So some of the recordings, they don't stretch out fully, so alright. So we're going to go back to the beginning. And now for the audio, this is the commentary and everything. I'm going to take that and drag that to position audio 2. This is our actual commentary and everything. So this first part here is the video and game audio. So if I play that,
then right when the
oops. So if I play just that, you can hear the game audio and everything just fine. And this is with the audio and everything before they do anything. So if I ever want to focus on just a certain clip on the audio, or like on the game's audio and stuff, if I notice something odd, I can mute our track by hitting this button here, and that'll mute this track here. And I can do the same with any other tracks or anything. I can do the same with the videos too. If I hit this button here, this eyeball button, it'll disappear, and so will the video. But I can still hear the sounds and everything. Right now, I want them visible. And now I'm going to zoom in because I need to figure out the timing for this. First off, before I do anything, something I have noticed, the game's audio is usually a lot louder than needs to. So if I select this video, go to volume here, I can change the level. I usually do -20. That'll turn it down some. Our audio, I don't usually change too often. Sometimes I will. But let's try and find a good spot that will...
I swear I am not stealing from anyone.
Yeah. The commentary audio is behind already because I started recording the screen first. So I need to get that to about here. So let's see.
I swear I am not stealing from anyone. I am not stealing from Attacking Toucans. I know that he's doing this right now, but I had the idea a while ago. I wasn't stealing Majora's Mask from
That sounds about good, but I want to get closer to... I want to make sure that it is timed perfectly, so that's right about here. You should be able to hear an echo. Guys might not hear it too much, but I have my headsets on, and that's usually how I could tell if there's an echo.
I'm sitting in my bed and stuff.
Break your back.
Anyways.
Break your back. I see what you break your back.
Anyways.
Break your back.
I can hear the echo, actually.
Bed and stuff.
Break your
Anyways.
back.
Okay, that should be about right there. Alright, now I jumped back. Now, I use these buttons to do. This goes to go to previous edit point, or go to next edit point. Pretty much, it'll take me to any cuts in the video. So if I have something just floating up in one of these other videos, it'll jump to the end or the beginning of that, depending on where I'm at. So pretty much hitting that will take me to the beginning of the audio track, but not the full video. So now I just need to cut this, get rid of this extra stuff at the very beginning.
Why'd you start that?
Okay, that was a little bit too early, so I want to be in the black right here.
Why'd you start that?
So right after he says that, now if I hit C on my keyboard, it'll bring up the cut icon. I can also do that or the razor tool. I can also do that by going up here and hitting the razor bar. It might be in a different position if you guys are doing any edits yourself, but this stuff gets moved around a lot. Now on the line here, this is my cursor where the video's at. If I click here, it'll cut the game's video and audio, right there, and then our commentary. I'll cut that right there. Hit V. It'll take me back to my pointer or selection tool. All I have to do is click and drag a box over these two. I'll select both of them. Hit delete. Now they're gone. But I need to move these to the front. So I'll zoom out, click and drag a box around them, click and drag them to the beginning, and now they're pushed back to the start. Zoom back in. I don't want to get too far in. I zoom in mostly for I can do little tweaks of the audio and stuff. because sometimes our commentary gets off from the or gets out of sync with the gameplay. So, and now that's the start of the episode.
I am not stealing from anyone. I am not stealing from attacking toucans.
All right. So now that it's been synced up and the extra bit at the very beginning has been cut out that we don't need. Now, time to start actually editing the episode and adding some stuff in. The first thing I like to add is our logo. Now, I need to change the length because right now it's still set to 5 seconds. Any pictures that you add into this, it will automatically set at 5 seconds. So just like with the logos, I'm going to right click on that, go to speed and duration. This one I'm actually going to change from 5 seconds to 20 seconds because our episodes are usually 20 minutes. I'm sorry. Our episodes are usually going to be 20 minutes long, so there you go. Now, from there, I am going to jump to position 15 seconds, take our logo and put it right on top of this. Now, it's going to be in the very, very center of this now, of the video. I want to move that to the bottom right, and make it into a watermark. So, what I do from there, I drop, with this still selected, I drop down the motion and change its position. Now, from editing so many times and actually learning or actually positioning this so many times, I've actually figured out where the best points are. So this is going to be 680 by 420, and there you go. Next, I need to change the opacity. So I'm going to close or collapse the motion and open this one. Now for the first, I have to have it fade in. So for at 15 seconds, I'm going to set this to 0. So now it disappears. And by 30 seconds in, I want it to be at its full, where I want it to actually be. Maybe it's watermark. Now I usually set it to 50. That way it's only half visible or half solid, and it's overlapping the video and everything. So you can see it and everything just fine now, but it's not blocking out anything down here. Not that it really matters. There's not going to be much down there other than my rupees. So now, if I jump back to the beginning of this, play it, you'll watch it fade in, and it's going to take a lot longer than the other icons because it's 15 seconds to get from 0 to 50%. And there you go. And now it's going to stay at that until I get to the very end, which I'll edit it later. So now the next part is to pretty much watch the video and see where I need to edit. Okay, I'm back now. This is about the time that I want to put in some icons, so hang on. I am going to zoom back a little bit. I want to be about right here. Yeah, alright, about here. These here are step backs. They go frame by frame. So if I hit 1, it'll go back 1 frame. Hit forward, it'll go forward 1 frame. Now what I want to do, I want to take this Quest 2 icon, and I'm going to drop that right above this. Now this, it's a little small, a little bit smaller than I would like to, so I'm going to make this a little bit bigger. It's going to get a little pixelated, but oh well. that looks about good. 160 is about good. Now I need to reposition this. This is gonna go over here to, let's say about 60. That'll look good. And then I need to bring it down. I'm gonna actually put this right. We'll do that. 420 should be good. Now, since this is gonna pop up occasionally, I want to make a note of this. So I'm actually gonna write this down on a piece of paper. So I pretty much write down what it is. It's the Quest 2 icon. And it is 60 by 420. That lets me know that it's position 60 X and 420 Y. And the scale is 160%. So it's a little bit, so I actually have to increase the size of that. Now for this, I'm pretty much just gonna, because it's gonna be a fluctuated thing, I'm pretty much gonna leave it at its length right now, and then just adjust it to whatever, and it's just gonna appear and disappear. Okay, now this is gonna be about the part where I want to end it. So I'm gonna zoom out, take the end here, and stretch it out to the very end. Now the way I do that is at the end of the sequence or anything, this little icon will appear. I click and hold that, and I can make it shorter, make it longer. This works best for pictures. Videos, I cannot extend the video farther than what I've recorded. Same for the audio and stuff. So I can shrink it, and if I shrink it down, I can extend it farther. Now, like I did at the very beginning of the recording and stuff, I cut it down. I can extend it out to the very beginning of the episode, to the very beginning of that recording too. Oh. Even if I cut it, I can still extend it back out if I need to. So yeah, this icon is pretty much going to be sitting here throughout this whole cutscene, and a little bit into the menu. That's to show off the item that you get, or that you start off with. So now that that's done, I'm gonna continue watching this video or the episode. Save real quick because don't want it to crash or anything and lose my progress. So I'm gonna continue watching this and see what the next edit I need to do.
I don't care about it.
Okay, here's another little example of our audio, our commentary getting out of sync with the game.
I'm gonna pick up some money. Already getting money. What is that? Oh, it's pig.
Pig.
Now, if you notice, I said, oh, it's a pig before we even saw that it was a pig. Now, I did hear this also. I pick up a rupee up here. I can hear it in our commentary when we pick it up too.
Getting money.
So I went to a spot where we're not talking. Hit C, cut it, hit V, and now I can move it around. This is the reason why I zoomed in, so I can adjust this by frame. So like 4 frames in.
Already getting money.
And it still sounds like I picked it up a little early.
Already getting money.
A little more.
Already getting money. What is that? Oh, it's pig.
Pig.
Yeah, it still seems a little too soon, so.
Already getting money. What is that? Oh, it's pig.
Pig.
I don't care about the pig.
Alright,
Actually, I thought there was more money underneath that.
that actually sounds pretty
fine.
good right there. So,
You got
Go.
one rupee.
Yeah.
there might still be a slight
This kid pretty much tells you
echo in it,
about
but-
the jumping
Auto jump.
mechanic. Yeah. This is pretty much the jumping mechanic for all
yeah, I can actually hear it some more up here.
jumping mechanic for
So I'm gonna use this to
jumping mechanic for all the jumping mechanic for
yeah, that actually sounds
all Zelda games.
yeah, so there you go. Oh, those are little bits that I actually have to work on and stuff for the
Run as fast as horses and
And,
Run as
and-
fast as you
Except-
can.
I think he did this too.
You did
This
copy
is
it.
actually a good point to point out something. I talk about another LP that someone else did of this game. Learning about a secret.
Over a year ago.
Let me go a little bit further back.
Till I saw Last Exile do this over a year ago. I think he did this
So
too.
you did copy something.
So I'm not too sure how long ago it was. So I'm actually gonna go look it up real quick. And then I'm gonna put a little annotation in here, correcting it. So give me 1 second. I'll be right back. Okay, now I actually did find out how long it is. It is actually January 3rd, 2011 when he uploaded the first episode. So it's almost exactly 2 years. So I'm gonna add a little annotation in saying that it was almost exactly 2 years. So in our project area, I'm going to select the episode 2 folder. I'm going to hit new item. I'm going to hit title. This is the first instance of seeing a title. And I'm going to do title it 2 years. Hit OK. This will open up a new window. This is where I can put little titles stuff. Or info. I can type in anything I want, so I'll say 2 year. Oops. Now, by default, it always goes to this format, but I want to change that to another font. Now, the font that I'm going to do is Sheerwood. This is the font that is used for Wind Waker in the logo and everything. And it's also the font that I'm going to be using in this series a lot. So now I've changed it to 2 years. I'm going to actually change the font. I'm going to do about 50 I normally do. So now that the font and everything has been and the font size has been set, I'm going to select this again and type in first was January 3rd, 2011. Okay, now that I've typed it in, I'm actually going to resize it. If I go up here and hit the select tool, or I can hit V. Also, well, maybe. Huh, it's not working for some reason. Why is it not working? I don't know. I'll just do that. I'm going to resize this so that it will fit mostly in here. And a few days. Oh, that'd probably be why. I was still selected in the box. Now that that's set, I usually do this. I always center it for this, center vertically, and then I move it down. And now I can use the arrow keys to actually nudge it down to the spot that I want. If I hold down the arrow keys, it will move it down, but it kind of lags a bit, so I won't get to see it move until I release the button. Now the white's okay, but I think I want to go with an orange color. Kind of give it that look. So I'm gonna go with orange color. Pretty much, to change the color, since this is still selected, all I have to do is hit this colored box here, right next to the color. Hit that, and I can move this bar up and down to for the color scale, and then change the darkness. So I want a bright orange, so it would overlap this darker background. Alternatively, I can just hit this button and I can select something like maybe his pants, like that. But I'm not going to do that. I like this brighter orange. So there you go. First upload was January 3rd, 2011, 2 years and a few days. And now I hit X and it's already saved and everything, and all I have to do is just drag it into this position. Now, just like pictures and anything that you import, this will start by default be 5 seconds long. Now I'm just gonna nudge it into place. I'm gonna zoom back.
So, Last Exile did this over a year ago.
So I mentioned the actual time frame there. I'll put it right here instead of back here. That way it makes
Over a
more
year
sense.
ago. I think he did this
So
too.
you did copy off somebody.
I never knew about this.
And now the next thing is I'm actually going to go through and read it a couple of times to see if I need to make it stay up there longer, giving the person time to read. Now I'm a pretty slow reader, so I'm pretty good scale for this. So let's see. First upload was January 3rd, 2011. 2 years and a few days. I just barely could get it out, so I might extend it a little bit longer. Let's say right about there. Let's go back, do it again. First upload was January 3rd, 2011. 2 years and a few days. That worked pretty good. And lastly, I'm going to check on the colors. Make sure that I can still clearly see it throughout the whole. Yeah. So yeah, it looks good throughout the whole time. Now, I had a little good idea about this part. So I'm actually going to go back a bit. As long as I remember that I have to. This scale here allows me to speed up or according to the speed of that. So let's see. So right about here. Now what I'm going to do. What I'm going to do, I'm actually going to change the position and stuff. So I want to make this jump around. So if I hit the toggle animation, this allows me to edit this, and it can change positions and stuff. So what I'm going to do, right before the first sound hits, I'm gonna put a keyframe there. I'm gonna remove that first one. That way it'll start here, and then I'm gonna do some random position. Oops. And now that I've done that, what was the actual positions? 360 by 240.
Knock.
Alright, I need to actually make that more sporadic. So, faster pace, pretty much. Alright, let's see how that looks.
Knock every damn thing over.
Look, if you mess up.
Let me see here. I need to zoom in on this. Let me go right about here and do something random there.
Every damn.
If you mess up this
Knock every damn thing over. Knock every damn thing over.
Alright, I think it probably is lasting too long, so I'm actually gonna cut it down a bit. So 2 by 116. (282 by 116). So I'm gonna change this key frame and then get rid of all these other ones. So
grooming kids.
No, look. Knock every damn thing over.
yeah, there's one more. Get rid of that one.
No, look. Knock. Knock every damn thing over.
Alright, now that that's set, I'm actually going to put it back in position. So 360 by 240. So now, the full sequence for that is going to look like this.
Knife is not a grooming kids.
No, look. Knock every damn thing over.
Look, if you mess up this recording,
I'm gonna laugh, 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 because that means we have to do it again.
do it again, do it again.
Oh, look, my,
Good thing we just started.
no,
Hey, there you
my,
go. You got some nail clippers now. Two sets.
my loving
That looks pretty good.
stepmother got me.
Alright, I need to check on something real quick, so I will be right back.
You know the sound?
Yeah.
Sound?
This is actually a good point to actually stop the episode. So I'm actually going to cut this a little short for episode 1. That way the next part could be the rescue and everything. So I'm going to stop that here. There was no sound at this point. I'm going to cut there, and I'm actually going to cut this part here and get rid of the icon and everything. Now what I usually always do is I always make a new episode before I move that around. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to make a new folder, do episode 002, and in this folder make a new sequence, episode 002. And now from here, I'm going to select those two. I'm going to hit Control X, which cuts. Alternatively, I can I can't right click. I can hit Edit, and I can paste. And that'll put that in there. Or Control V. Selecting is Control X. X for cut, Control C for copy, Control V for paste. If you guys don't know that, I'm pretty sure most of you do. So now the last thing I'm going to do before I declare this episode done is I'm going to go down here to logos. This is what I meant by I'm not going to use these logos or use this sequence yet. And I don't want to do that. I want to make sure that stays in here. Since there's no previous episode, there's no need for me to put the previous one up there. So this is one of 2 times that I'm going to do a custom change on this. So we're going to do... Hold on. I need to zoom out some so I can fix that into place. So I'm going to put that there, put the logo there, and then I'm going to move somewhere in the middle. And now all I have to really do is match this. So here, I'm going to make that 100%, make this 100%, and then I'm just going to hit this button here that will take me to the beginning of those and put 0 and 0. So now they'll fade in, starting here. And then there we go. Now for our actual icon, this is where I want to do 14 seconds in, where I'm gonna make this icon below our actual logo. I'm going to put a keyframe there, go to the end of the episode, and hit 0. And now, from this point, our icon is going to start fading out. And as it does that, the other icons will fade in. And there we go. I'm going to save this again and get to episode 2. The last things I'm going to show you before I end the actual behind the scenes, because I'm going to edit episode 2 on my own time. I'm going to show you the logos, the actual logo sequence, because I made it but I haven't showed you yet. Pretty much, if you take another sequence and add it to a video, don't be very careful because it will overlap any tracks that you already have on there and can erase it. For some reason, every sequence will always have at least one audio track, so there's nothing I can do to get rid of that. But once I've added to the sequence, I can actually move the video and the audio freely to any of the video or audio tracks, they'll just stay together in the same time. Now, I can remove them. If I right click on it and hit unlink, now they both act as a separate entity, or a separate entity. So I can move this one around all I want, or I can hit delete and it'll delete it. Since it's empty anyways, I don't need it. And I can do that with any one of them. So now at the beginning of the next episode, it'll show these icons already up, and it'll fade out. Just like normal. Now later on, at the end of the episode, again, I'll add it in just like normal. Now normally this is going to stay up on the video 3 area, since at the very end of the episode, track 2 for video is going to be, or video 2 is going to have the icon or our logo and everything. Again, unlink, get rid of that audio one, I don't need it. Now again, it looks like now if I leave it like that, it'll look like it'll pop up and then just start fading out. But I want it to actually fade in. So what I do is I right click, go to speed and duration, and then hit reverse speed. And what this does is it'll play that backwards. So now it'll fade in, and it'll stay at full until the end of the episode. And then the end of the episode, when it gets to the end of that track, will cut right there. But that's how I do that. But that's going to be for almost all the other episodes except for the very last one. The very last one, I do something similar to, I'll do the same thing that I did with episode 1, except instead of doing a next, I'll just have a previous. But there you go, and that's it. And yeah, there's nothing else I can really think of. I may show some little bits of stuff. I added the wipe thing in here. I might show you some effects some later time, but right now that's pretty much the gist of editing a video. This is very simple compared to doing Pokemon. I might do a behind the scenes for Pokemon sometime later. And I might actually stream that. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this and you learned something. I learned a little bit about how I edit things. If you like this video, please like, subscribe, right? Share with your friends, share with anyone who is interested in starting to do this. I know I've talked to a few people who want to start making LPs and stuff. But yeah, but there you go. That's a glimpse of what I do for editing. Alright, I hope you guys have a good day, and see you next time, and hope you enjoy the actual finished episode.